So I wanted to make a video about the Ada programming language because I think Ada is one of those programming language that it is very versatile and useful to know, and many people can have their CS degree, work in the field about 20 to 30 years and never heard about the Ada programming language. And I think it's very sad because Ada is one of those languages that you can basically use other programming language like Java and Python. So I'm gonna make a couple of points about why I think you should care and should learn about the Ada programming language. So why Ada? Let me just okay. Let me increase the font. Okay, I think this is better. So why learn Ada? Why care? So if you are a beginner that want to learn about programming, or even someone that's doing a CS degree, the first two programming language probably that you get introduced is probably Python and Java, and partly because those two are the probably the most popular programming language, and they are widely used in the market. So it kind of makes sense to learn what is actually in demand in the market. But sometimes you will get caught up in the popularity of those two languages and forget the benefits about having a basic about programming. And concerning those two languages, I got nothing against those two programming languages, but even though that it is true that Python is a easy language to learn for a beginner, sometimes Python programmer get away with a lot of stuff, especially in the dynamic typing system in Python, and sometimes the Python syntax is hard to read because it is really flexible, so sometimes it can get hard to understand a piece of Python code. And regardless to Java, I think Java is a great programming language, but the fact like it forces you in one programming paradigm from the beginning is kind of overwhelming to me. So I think that having to learn about the Ada programming language can be quite beneficial in the future. So why learn Ada? So Ada is really a powerful and highly reliable programming language that emphasizes safety, security, and clarity. Even though it is not well used like I mentioned in Python or Java, you can still achieve the same thing with those other languages. And it offers advantages that make it valuable to learn as a beginner. First, the Ada programming language forces you to write structured code with clear and concise syntax, like I mentioned earlier, that prevents you from loosely code before about the Python programming language. So a piece of Ada code is very well structured. Another thing that I think make Ada a great programming language is the typing system. There is a saying in the Ada programming language that is strong type we trust. So Ada is a strongly typed programming language. And like I mentioned earlier, Ada is a very concise and we're switching a programming language. So that is why Ada is a programming language that is readable and maintainable, and it is very easy to understand and learn as a beginner. And another thing for Ada is the safety and the security. Ada is a highly robust programming language, making it ideal for critical system, and there is a building system for error handling, so that reduces the risk of vulnerability. And like I said earlier, also one of the benefits for learning Ada is having solid foundation about programming, and that will help you in learning other programming language. Ada emphasizes structural programming, especially typing, and that making it easier to grasp the principle behind other programming language. At this point, you might say, if Ada offers all these things, why it is not popular as the other programming language that I mentioned? And for me, we can answer it here, because for me, it really depends about where the language is used. So the Ada programming language is primarily used for critical real-time software. And the reason for that is because the Ada programming language was created by the DoD, the Department of Defense, because they were looking for a single common programming language for military application. That's why I highlighted the word primarily here, because the goal was to create a programming language that was a high order programming language, but also reliable to write some critical software. That is why Ada is used in areas like aerospace, like flight control systems, spacecraft, also in transportation like air traffic management, train control, like areas one like real-time system is really critical. That's why you don't see a lot of Ada code out there, because mostly people that use it, that is to write really important and critical software. That does not mean that you can only use Ada in those areas, but that is just, it was designed to be used in those areas. That's it. But you can do other stuff like you do in other programming language. That why that brings us to hear about what you can do with Ada. You can do all the things you can do with other programming language like C, C++, Java, Python. The only difference for me is like Ada is more understandable for a beginner. Also, yeah, you can even build GUI application, graphical interface application in Ada. One of the most powerful features for me in Ada is the fact that you can buy other programming language or library, providing numerous options for writing GUI application. For example, if you know GTK, you can bind GTK with Ada to build graphical user application. Also, you can use JWindows, another framework that lets you build GUI application, and you can also use Qt Ada to build graphical user application. That's why for me, I think one of the most powerful thing about Ada is the fact that you can buy programming language and library. Also, another thing about the Ada programming language is you can also use it to build video game. Yeah, there is, let me show you this game that was built using Ada and GTK, a Tetris game. So that is the Tetris game built with Ada and GTK, even though that is a old version of GTK, but let me just show you. Let me just start a new game. As you can see, you can play Tetris, and all of this thing was really using Ada. So Ada is a very, very versatile programming language that you can use to build a lot of stuff. So that is all I wanted to show you and talk about the Ada programming language. I will probably provide in the description some link to learn about Ada, or I can make a series of tutorial about the Ada programming language if you are interested, or even build a GUI game or application in Ada. So please let me know in the comment like how you learn about the Ada programming language, if that was during your CS degree or you learned it in a job requirement. So I would love to know how you discover about the Ada programming language. So that's it. Thank you.